This is a perfect suicide. He called an ambulance first, then poured ice into the bathtub, turned on the faucet, calculated the time and jumped into the chilling icy water. Finally he poured the most toxic box jellyfish into the bathtub. As the jellyfish's tentacles pierced his skin, the toxins quickly spread and the excruciating pain made him unable to help but cry out lovely. He clenched his vest and struggled in pain. But it only lasted for a short 7 seconds before he completely fell silent. Then the ambulance took him to the hospital, and at the moment he was placed on the operating table he had already lost vital signs, but his organs were still alive. According to his wishes, the doctor successfully transplanted his organs to the person he designated. Everything was planned perfectly. His name is Will, and he chose to end his life in 7 seconds because he had unintentionally caused the loss of 7 lives in 7 seconds. So in order to achieve self-redemption, he chose to donate his organs through suicide, helping 7 people to regain new lives, and the 7 people were carefully selected by him to ensure that they were kind-hearted and deserving of his donation. The first person chosen by Will is a blind man who works as a meat company salesman. To test his character, Will deliberately called in for really abused him with the most malicious language.
Are you blind?
Excuse me?
The blind beef salesman is trying to help me. I'm actually starting to feel pretty bad for you, Ezra, because I look at my life and it is surrounded by so much beauty and you can't see shit.
Baseless insults. The blind man felt extremely wrong, but out of prefer journalism and dignity he did not retaliate but politely hung up the phone. Will could no longer control his emotions and fell into deep self-reproach. He didn't want to do this, but he had to make sure the recipients were good people. But the phone test alone was not enough to further understand the blind man. Will began to observe his life and found that he played the piano for free in the square every day. In the bustling environment, the melodic sound of the piano was like a beam of holy light illuminating the blind man's dark world. Then the blind man came to a restaurant, and when he heard the voice of a female waitress, he instantly became uneasy. Will could see through the blind man's spots at a glance and directly asked him why he didn't take the initiative to ask her out. The blind man felt a little embarrassed. He did have feelings for that waitress, but he thought no one would be interested in a blind person, and he didn't want to become a burden to someone else. Looking at the sincere, kind, hard-working and life-loving man in front of him, Will had a definite answer in his heart, and he gave his corneas to him. Next was the kidney, which he decided to donate to an old man. Faced with such a generous gift, the old man asked, "Why me?" Will smiled and replied, "Because you deserve it." It turned out that he had been observing the old man for a long time. He was a popsicle coach who, despite his serious illness, still raised money and sponsored many poor students. This was why Will chose him, and in this hospital Will also saw a boy with leukemia who, despite being plagued by the disease, still had hope for life. As a result, Will donated his bone marrow, and the piercing pain almost made him pass out. After the surgery, before Will's body had fully recovered, he immediately went looking for the next target, and this time it was the most important organ, the heart. He targeted a woman, but little did he know that it was this woman who almost ruined his plan.